So the concern here from the Prime Minister is that this was beginning to weigh on his political popularity. He's just had the G7 summit, and this was seen as an opportunity to very much boost his approval ratings. But instead of having a positive effect, what we've actually seen in the most recent polling is a decline in the Prime Minister's approval rating. And so that seems to have been the main reason behind his decision to sack his son as political secretary. If it had been the first occasion, then I think the Prime Minister might have taken the judgment that they could ride this out, and that there might have been a bit of public opposition, but it could have been something that was survivable. But given the fact that this was a second, it's coming after the accusations that the Prime Minister's son had used an official vehicle to go on a shopping trip during an overseas visit. Yes. I think the feeling was that this was too much, and that overall the son, Kishida Shotaro, had shown a lack of political maturity. So I think that's why the decision was taken to move quickly here and to remove him from this position of executive secretary. Well, this is why this news story, which is was seen as so problematic from the point of view of the Prime Minister, because setting this aside, things had been going pretty well for him. He had had a difficult start to his time as Prime Minister. There had been speculation that he wouldn't be kind of long in the job, but he turned it around. His approval ratings had been going up, such as to such an extent that there was talk about calling an early election. And so this has been a blow to these plans. So his hope will be, in acting quickly to remove his son from the position, that this will blow over quite quickly, and that will make possible a return to those plans for an early election. Yeah, I think we shouldn't exaggerate the difficulties here. This is a blip. This is a problem at the moment, but overall, the Prime Minister's position remains pretty strong. And above all, the ruling party, the LDP, are in a very strong position. So I don't think we should suggest that the Prime Minister is really at risk here. But you're right in mentioning that there have been problems in the past with resignations from his cabinet. And on that occasion, the Prime Minister was accused of being too slow, of hoping that he could hold on to those colleagues and then eventually having to accept defeat. So I think on this occasion, he's trying to do the opposite. Instead of holding on to his son for as long as possible, he's trying to be a bit more decisive to move him aside, and in that way to try and nip this problem in the bud.
And there they go.
The US and Russia are dangerously close to an armed conflict. This year, 2023, New Delhi will be the capital of global diplomacy. For a country as diverse as ours, with 88% of the population illiterate, it was a very big deal to write a constitution, and that too, the world's largest. Meanwhile, if we may, here's a Republic Day gift from India for the BBC. A list of suggestions for the BBC for their upcoming documentaries. Number 1. The Kohinoor and the colonial loot. Number 2, an outdated monarchy and unhealthy obsession with the royals. Number 3, racism in 2023. We're waiting.